So hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and I'm just here at the Dhahatuna Kuti and thought to record a short Dhamma discussion for the internet. So I thought that maybe you could start with just a little meditation, so you can lean forward a bit and arch the spine, and look about 3 feet in front, and close our eyes. And can focus in on the breath, can know when it's coming in, and know when it's going out. If we breathe in a long breath, can just know I'm breathing in a long breath. And if we breathe in a short breath, can just know I'm breathing in a short breath. And can focus in on the breath at the tip of the nose. And if notice any patterns of tension or tightness around the nose, around the face, can just let those relax. And can relax any patterns of tension around the shoulders, back, front side of the torso. And can relax any patterns of tension in the legs, in the feet. And can practice breathing in and out with attention on the tip of the nose. And when watching the breath at the tip of the nose, it can be good to try to make mindfulness as continuous as possible, being aware all the way through the in-breath. As the in-breath turns to the out-breath, all the way through the out-breath, and as the out-breath turns back to the in-breath again. Trying to make mindfulness as continuous as possible. And can just pose the question in the mind. What would be a really comfortable way to breathe right now? And then one can just let one's breathing, one's body respond on its own. And before we finish meditating, can spread thoughts of goodwill, wishing may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make the mind infinite, can make it unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond, in every dimension. May all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. And can open our eyes and do a short Dhamma discussion for the internet. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. So hope that everybody's having a great day wherever it might be. And the official rainy season retreat has come to an end here in Sri Lanka. But the actual rainy season has started, so there's kind of quite a lot of heavy rain, which can be nice to see, kind of the webas and lakes getting filled up. And so I was asked a question a few years back, I think a couple of years back actually. I was looking at one of the old videos that I'd done from that time when I was in Toronto, and a fellow asked a good question. He said, when I hear instructions about manipulating my breath, I become apprehensive because I've always found that things go badly basically when I manipulate my breath. So I get kind of apprehensive when I hear these kind of instructions about kind of changing the breath or manipulating it. And he said, do you have any thoughts about that? And so one of the things with meditation is it's not 100% something that one can rely on a technique for, not 100% something that one can just go freestyle. And there's all these middle balances to it. And one of the kind of middle balances to it is that meditation, breath meditation, is not something that one will necessarily just 100% in every situation. It may not necessarily be the best just to watch the breath, just let it be whatever it may be. Sometimes it may be more skillful to manipulate the breath. And the ways in which one can manipulate the breath in these ways, it's not just one level of force, it's kind of on a continuum. So it's not as if one wants to breathe lighter or longer than one just kind of grabs the breath and forces it. And that's one thing one can do. But one can also do that with varying levels of force or heaviness or pressure. So one can, on the other end, just think longer breath and then just wait for the body to respond. And so one of the things when one gets in there and tries to manipulate the breath very forcefully, it may cause other patterns of tension in the body to occur. One may squeeze different parts of the body to try to force one's breath to become long or to become short. And in doing this, it can inhibit the nice, easy flow of the breath, which that nice, easy flow of the breath is what allows the mind to calm down. So there are times, of course, when this kind of very strong way of manipulating the breath can be useful. It's kind of when one, say, is very angry or very worried, then one can kind of directly cause the breath to become more coarse. So if one has quite a lot of thoughts of worry about the future, one can sometimes breathe in and out very coarsely. Just breathing in and out and kind of relaxing in a very kind of coarse way to strongly bring the mind back to the present moment. If one has thoughts of anger, then one can sometimes one can sometimes try to make the breath calm, as if one wasn't angry at all, as if one was at ease. And so when one manipulates the breath in this way, sometimes it affects the emotion that's causing the breath to become short or tight or whatever it might be. So this, knowing how to behave towards the breath, how much pressure to put on it, what to do with it, is one of the skills that comes with training the mind, that one wants to develop in order to train the mind to be able to make the mind peaceful. Basically, one wants the mind to be peaceful. So it's basically a skill that one tries to develop to take the mind away from bad mind states and bring it towards good mind states. So when the mind is kind of at ease, when the mind is able to stay with the breath in a nice, calm, relaxed way, then there's probably not much need for one to manipulate the breath at that time. And kind of fine to just observe the breath and just one can just allow one's breath perhaps to settle down and kind of become calmer just by observing it. But there are times, especially in the preliminary phases, when one may want to go through the body section by section and basically make sure that all of the what they call breath energy is flowing nicely through one's body. And so to do that, one can kind of go through and learn to relax the different legs and back of the head, front of the head, all these different there may be different kind of focus points or nexuses or junctions where tension occurs, and that blocks the easy, nice flow of energy through the body and of the breath in general. And so one goes through and learns to relax and unblock those. Then this is another time that manipulating the breath can be skillful. It's another time that it can be useful, especially when one first sits down to meditate. And kind of having this kind of relaxed body, it can also kind of contribute to a relaxed mind. And then, as mentioned as well, the other times are when different kinds of emotions come up. One can learn to breathe in certain ways to help those. Another time when manipulating the breath can be useful is if one has certain physical injuries. One kind of has like back injury or foot injury or whatever it might be. Sometimes one has a physical injury in one's body, and as a result, one's body may tense up around that injury, and that tension also creates a blockage that the breath has difficulty flowing through. In which case, one learns to work with the tension in that part of the body and work with the alignment in one's body to try to sit and meditate and breathe in such a way that that injury isn't aggravated, but perhaps that the breath flows more smoothly, the breath flows more easily. This kind of breath manipulation can also be helpful if one has a cold, or one is sick, or one has a migraine headache, something like this. Then being able to manipulate the breath and say even change the areas of the body that one perceives breath energy coming in and out from, that can help. If one has a migraine headache, one can kind of breathe from the center of one's chest. Instead of assuming that the breath is always coming in and out of the nose, one can imagine almost as if it's coming in and out of the center of the chest. And that can take the pressure off of the head during meditation. It can also help with whatever blockages there may be that are causing this migraine headache. And sometimes it's various reasons people have headaches, but sometimes it can be certain kind of blockages, certain tensions in the body that contribute. And so in this case, kind of changing the focus of one's breath, the way that one's breathing, can help settle down the mind in case of a headache or other physical ailment or sickness or something like this, where just the regular style of breathing won't work so well. So there's kind of many ways that one can manipulate the breath and many reasons one might do, but basically if one is staying with the breath and it's kind of not coming in and out smoothly, or things are coming up which are too strong, then one can find ways to change the breath up. There's also, the Buddha recommends having this ability to spread feelings basically through one's body. So in this way one learns how to spread breath energy so that it fills one's whole body, so that if pleasant feelings arise during one's meditation, if one gets a sense of piti or something, then one can learn to spread that through the body so that the body feels this sense of refreshment or joy. And so this is a skill that the Buddha recommends for developing states of calm in the mind. In all these things, there's these various levels of force or various levels of focus. So one has to experiment to see what's right for that situation. Always keeping in mind that the goal of this meditation, there's a particular goal to the meditation. One basically, most of the time, just wants the mind to settle down. One wants the mind to become more and more calm, more and more at ease, more and more peaceful. And so one has to play with the different ways of manipulating the breath, with the different types of force of manipulating it, and with when it's appropriate to just watch it, to see how to make this happen in various types of situations. So in other words, it's not a cut and dry answer where either one always manipulates the breath, never manipulates it. It's something that one develops as a skill in order to make the mind calm. And if one develops this skill well, then the Buddha teaches that one can learn to make the mind calm in any situation. Basically, if one develops the skill to always have the mind in the present moment. These kind of skills of manipulating the breath are things that can help with keeping the breath calm, keeping the mind calm, and can be a support for our practice and kind of moving forward. So those are a few thoughts on instructions in manipulating the breath versus just letting it be. So hope that everybody has a great day wherever it might be, and wishing all the blessings of Dhamma practice.